Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking about, once again, NAK. It's been a while since I talked about this one, Northern Dynasty Minerals. I'm going to go through technical analysis briefly because this one is not mainly going to be playing on technical analysis. If you want to skip ahead of the video, go ahead. And then I'm going to go through news and everything I could find about it and what is yet to come. I think I've discovered a lot of stuff and connected a bit of dots that I think are useful for this video. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow and get more contents like this. Make sure to subscribe and leave notifications on. Let's jump right into it. On the 1 week perspective, what we get to see here is on MACD we're actually attempting a positive reversal. Although the ADX shows in kind of a sloppy movement ahead of the massive drop that it dropped down to almost 60 cents. Volume percent R puts this one at oversold, which is a good position to be in. Momentum is a little bit sloppy and it doesn't give us much. Moving averages look bullish, although they are very much tending to go towards the bearish side. On the 1 day perspective, what we get to see here is sloppy all around. It doesn't tell us anything much. Every single indicator just tells us it's going to be moving sideways. And we get to see that this is the fifth day that we're actually, fifth trading day that we're moving sideways. Now, on a 1 hour perspective, merely for the next few hours, it gives the exact same results. Sloppy, barely any movement in terms of higher or lower. It's just sitting there on an edge. Moving averages shows in the current band is sitting 97 on the bottom, 108 in the middle, and 119 in the top. It hasn't traded very significantly within the band, but it started to trend towards the band around 17th of September. Now the stochastic fast and slow. This one here is one of my favorites because it kind of gives you an idea onto how low is the price going to be. You get to see on the stochastic fast, it looks like it might be a nice time to, take a nibble onto this one here. That's based on the stochastic fast. The slow tells us a little bit of a different story. It tells us there might be a little bit further pullback here. Although, let's take a quick look into supports and resistance and then jump into the news because I think the news is more important. Support is 0.85 on the Fibonacci retracements. Resistance 117 and above that 142. Taking a quick look into supports and resistances, what we get to see is a current support sitting at the 99 cents. And then above that, resistance at the 105. Above that, 112, 123, and then we're looking at 127, and then we're looking at 140, and then all the way up to 175. Taking a quick look at the next resistance after the 99 cent one, we're looking at the 91 cent one mark, and then the 79, and all the way down to the lower 65 to 58. Now let's jump right into the news. So, taking a quick look into the recent filings and everything, it's been a little bit quiet, and this one has been a part of a bunch of scandals. But before, let's take a quick look quickly into their presentation. I've done this presentation before, or one at least very similar to it, in early September. So, the technicality for this one here is basically, they said they have the untapped exploration potential for the world's most extensive mineral system, including in the Pebble mine that is the one in Alaska. Now, taking a quick look into things, for instance, like the fishing for the final ES, they did say that overall the impact of fish and wild fish would not be expected to impact the harvest levels. Resources would continue to be available because no population level decrease in resources would be anticipated. On the Bristol level in the Bristol Bay commercial fishers, no measured changes in the number of returning salmons and historical relationships between ex-vessel values and wholesale values or processor operations would not be expected to have a measurable effect on fish members and result in long-term changes to the health of the commercial fishers in Bristol Bay. Next one, on water quality. Direct and indirect impacts of treated contact waters off-site surface water are not expected to occur. No effects on any community groundwater or surface water supplies. The next thing, on local communities. The increase in job opportunities year-round or seasonal employment, steady income, and lower cost of living would have a beneficial impact. The next thing, the project could reduce or eliminate the current local population decline because of the increase in employment opportunities and direct effect on education. Now, basically, in their final EIS, they said that there's no harm towards the fish population, targeting for 2021, or I believe, first of all, the first 90 days from September 2020. We're going on towards November. We're in the last 30-day stretch. Lead federal regulator on the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers published a favorable final EIS for the Pebble mine project on July 24th. The record on decision is yet to come and is expected in this fall. And we're right now coming in, just ending the fall, going on to winter. Receipt of positive ROD and completion of federal permitting represent a substantial step towards realizing global significant mineral resource. And they have different things, including strategic partnership coming in 2021, state permitting 20 to 2023, so it goes all the way down there. Now, I can go on and on through what's expected and the different catalysts, but I think that's enough for us to see today. Next is the next movement for this company itself. So, taking a quick into the last financial results they have, because you want to look at the earnings. We see total increase in assets, but we want to look into the end kind of line. Their operations has decreased, of course, because of COVID in that quarter, but you're looking at the cash equivalent, they're increasing onto their... It doesn't look there's much nudge between the differences. I mean, net cash financing, you're looking at almost exact same numbers. So, we're good on that. Total comprehensive loss is very much on the same realm, so not much change between the quarter and year to year. Next, what we want to take a look at is the latest news. September 23rd was basically the letter of resignation for the CEO, and that's based on allegations. I'm going to go through that in a second. The next thing is what kind of minerals they have in there. 2.6 million kilograms of uranium, and it's basically going to be the largest. After Pebble, the most significant deposit is going to be the one in Chile, but this is the most significant deposit. And you might think, well, what is the use of uranium, right? First thing, it's going to be used for things like military uses. The F-35s have around 6% of uranium, and it's really a strong alloy that is used for light material demands. Things like jets are used around 6% of uranium. So with the military spending, you can new F-35s and all the new F-series jets, you can expect that you would probably see them. Not only military, by the way, impacts, because it has a melting point of around 5,756 degrees Fahrenheit and a heat stable crystalline structure. So it's extremely resistant to both heat and wear. So you can also expect for SpaceX to jump on this a little. Next thing is, of course, we know copper, and you get to see, for instance, the copper price per year has been increasing. We already know gold is increased in the last decade, and then coming on the next one that I have a really hard time pronouncing, but I'll give it a try, molybdenum. And what we get to see here is it actually has 5 main uses, either in alloys, including in structural steel for chlorine resistance to corrosion, or in marine environments, including also in pharmaceuticals for chemical mills and tanker trucks. Next thing is catalysts, and the catalyst is used for helping removing sulfur from natural gas and refined petroleum products. So it has oil actual applications and lubricants as well for two-stroke engines, bicycle coaster brakes, bullets, and sky waxes, and more. Of course, they use it for pigments and fertilizers, but I'm not going to go through that. Next is they're welcoming U.S. government action to address critical mineral supply chains vulnerabilities. And that, I believe, was back in when the United States announced it would directly invest $60 billion in International Development Finance Corporation, federally funded lender and investor created by President Trump to invest $25 million in UK-based mining that specializes in producing rare metals. And so they just basically, applauded that move. Nothing significant there when we're looking at it. Next thing is the news that is actually around this. Okay, and this election here is crucial for the Pebble mine and NAK and their operations. Let me explain why. Alaska Senator vows action to stop Pebble mine. Previously, she had disagreement with that Pebble mine, but right now she's pledging to take further congressional action. So it's getting a lot of resistance, and the links between Senator Dan Sullivan, the current senator, and the Pebble mine are deeper than previously known, and that's including into recent secret tapes. Additional tapes revealed that underhanded the exact slide about the scope of Alaska Pebble Mine, the bragging off that they know about the Senator Sullivan, and that they have him in their pockets, stuff like that. When it comes out to surface, it doesn't really sound good, even though we know a lot of companies do that. Next thing is the election race. So I'm going to go through it at a glance, and basically I think that the Alaska Pebble Mine is just going to be on the verge of this election. This election is important, and this is one of the things, if you're in NAK, that you really want to be gluing your eye on and looking at what Alaska senators are coming in for the Alaska Senate race. So Senator Dan Sullivan of Alaska has a history of climate denial and was voted into the office promises of opening up more land to drilling. As the incumbent Republican in what has been a red state, his seat was once seemed secure. Sullivan opponent Al Gross, an independent running on a Democratic ticket, is riding a wave of record high donations and public support, branding himself as a rugged individual willing to stand up for Alaskans. Sullivan is caught up in a scandal over the Pebble Mine, a project that a majority of Alaskans oppose, and some experts suggest the controversy could be undoing in his race. And so, literally, what you want to be looking at for NAC, I think, is this race. If Al Gross wins, I don't see much of a bright future for the Pebble Mine. If Dan Sullivan does, it has a chance. So you can get to see, and I really hate this when we're actually playing politics. You literally are betting your money on politics. And if there's one thing that I don't bet my money on is politics, because they're a bunch of spoiled kids at the end of the day, and you get to see how a lot of politics really doesn't move things forward in economy. That is my opinion. But if you think that in Alaska, there's no way it can actually see a blue seat or a Democrat, well, he's an individual running on a Democrat ticket, then go ahead, and I think this one might be a nice play to play. Somewhere around the 91 cent is your stop limit. You think that, there's a lot of politics in this and there's a lot of danger, which I do think that's the position I'm in, I wouldn't touch this, and I would really hope that it actually bounces back for the poor souls that have bought above $2. What do you think about this sticker? Make sure you mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.